It's George the Antique Nomad, and I am mic'd, and I believe Zeno, who is holding the camera, is mic'd as well, which is great because
Yes, I am mic'd.
Yes, he will be in control of the camera, so he will be somewhat in control of our destiny today. But I'm sitting here in a cute little covered bridge. How are all of you today? It's a Saturday afternoon in Kentucky, and I am in this covered bridge, which is actually adjacent to and built by the people who own the Twin Lakes Antique Mall, where I have a booth. And I haven't been here other than to take a few things out for the Burlington show. I haven't really put anything in here in about a month and a half. And so I came to pick up my checks and bring in some stock, and also to see what's come into the mall, because this is a good place to shop is around for a little while and kind of show you the grounds and what's here, and you guys can ask questions along the way as you see stuff, and I'll things that I haven't spotted before, and maybe even do a little shopping.
You gonna show the horses?
Yeah, we should actually, because we're out here in the country. They've got quite a spread here, actually. They've got...
This used to be a water park.
Oh, it was a water park. Yeah. Okay, interesting.
There's the horses.
It is now a horse barn. They're building a new house. They've got a whole strip in there where they could do probably motel or Airbnb. And then they've got the antique mall. So they are very, very ambitious people.
Udi Lally is in there.
Oh, hi there. Good to see you. Hi, Danny Lynn. I am going to go this direction, I guess, and we'll head through the covered bridge, which they just built so that everyone can go see the horses. And we are on our way to the antique mall. So, but there is a nice shot of the little creek.
And the new horse barn.
Yes, the new horse barn. Yeah, a lot of new stuff happening here, actually. New stuff happening down the road, too. There's another...
Fat Birds is in here.
Oh, hey there. Hi there. Good to see you. Mary Beth and Laura, I enjoyed your show last night.
It is Zeno.
And
elderly poodle.
Hi. Oh, hey there, Catherine. I invoiced you for Pabst, and I sent it to you already.
Pabst?
Yes. No, it's
Are you dealing alcohol now?
Yes, that's right. Not really allowed. I like their stained glass. This will be fun. I already got all my stuff back there, so I don't have to be dragging things in. We could just walk in and look around.
Okay, hold the door.
Yes. All right, so we're in the front here, and they've got, oh look, beach blanket bingo with Annette Funicello.
Oh. Karen Radford.
And then this is a whole case full of, there's a bunch of keen cutter stuff, and keen cutter is really cool. It's not something I see a lot of, so it's nice to be able to show a bunch in one place. And it's got this great, this is an old paper sign, but it was E.C. Simmons was the store in Keen Cutter. They did cutlery, and I think they did razors and things, and all of it sells for a good premium. If you can find that logo on stuff, it's definitely worth picking up.
Hi.
Hey there. So let's see. This way, so why not?
Oh, there's a...
Oh yes, someone was asking me the other day why that was called that, and it's because it's named after the flower that has sort of that shape where it dips underneath here when it opens. Very pretty. And this one almost looks like it's by Orient and Flume, or one of those good companies. I should take a look. It is 1976, and it's somebody called Bentby, not a glass company I know of, but that could be a good deal. Especially because it's 20% off. And look at the neat Hager set.
Oh, this.
I always think of Fatbirds when I see interesting Hager pieces in the two-tone. I know that they do the pink and blue. But this is nice, 95, and she's riding the fish, and it's got the whole console set, and so it'd be 75. That actually seems like a pretty good deal. Especially for a collector, that'd be a good price.
Who?
Yes, who, what, how, when, where.
There's another.
There's a Jack in the Pulpit that shows the shape a little bit more demonstrably.
Very Yoni-like.
And this one, I think, is another studio piece. Oh, that's funny. I was going to say I thought it was Fenton, and it turns out it is a Fenton piece. It's just a Fenton studio piece with a nice signature here. I think that's Mike Fenton's signature. Actually, it's got signatures from various of the people, so this must have been picked up at the factory by somebody who went on the tour. So that's kind of neat.
Look at the little
Oh,
with
yeah.
the colors on it there.
Yeah, the ring. You see ring pattern a lot
Matches
in...
that Pyrex 80s stuff.
Exactly, even though this is the 30s, but you're right. And this one was by McKee. Okay, well, let's see what's back this way, because there are some new dealers. They have had some new people move in, and I noticed some things walking back to the booth that I thought were really cool that hopefully we'll spot along the way. Looks like some coverlets they didn't have
Paula.
before.
Hi, Paula.
Hey, Paul. Good to see you. It's nice to have all of you with us on a Saturday afternoon. If you can't get out, well, we'll take you out.
Willie Joe.
Oh, hey, Willie Joe. Stransky Steelware. I've never heard of Stransky and Company in New York, but that's actually a pretty neat piece. Anything advertising. And here's this, the Upper Rimney Board School. So this is a sampler. Age 13, M.A. Zachariah.
Rimney.
Yes, Rimney.
Rimney.
Well, it's pronounced Rimney in England. I don't know whether it's, I'm not, I assume it is here too. I suspect that's New England. Oh, wow, this is nice. With all the, you know, if you're going to do primitives,
Is
there's
this a new one?
I think this is a new one, or at least I don't remember it, or they've changed their merchandise a lot. You know, I haven't really gotten to come around and look as a shopper for a while. But I like the way they've done this. You know, it's got color, and yet it's still definitely truly primitive, and it has the feel of country and the Midwest and the South, but it is, it's also got a certain, I don't know, there's a certain feel to it because it's got some color theming and stuff. It's a little more sophisticated than just lumping it
What's
up.
that bug kill?
Oh, nice. This is part of a display rack. Mama Get, Cook Chemical Company's Real Kill Bug Killer.
Mama Get.
Mama Get.
Get!
Actually, she just took that board and whapped the bugs with it, and that was the real bug killer. That's why the end's missing.
Oh, here you go. Here's a hat you can try on.
Oh, yeah. Yep, got to do. Oh, hey, this
It
has...
says it's built-in wig, but
Yeah, you know, I have my own built-in wig at this point.
yes.
How's that? Does that...
Looks a little small.
Yeah, it is a little small.
Usually that
But it's
can't be
fun.
said for you.
I like tricorn. No, that's true. Usually I can fit just about anything.
Is that old, that rock
This
thing?
funky clock, yes. These are things that, this was another kit thing that you could do at home.
Ooh, it's
You'd buy the
probably
cockplate.
very heavy.
They are really heavy because they're full of stones and they're done in some sort of a plastic that you can pour into a mold at home. They often crack like this, but sometimes you'll see them in really wild colors like bright
It's
green.
cracked, yeah.
Yeah, and that's because of the material. It's not that they did anything wrong or dropped it or anything. It's just that it wasn't real stable. You know, that's back when a lot of those sorts of plastics were still a pretty new idea. Oh, a nice display there of the Hall.
I like
another
that.
Hall
I like
China.
that pattern.
I like this too. A lot of people who are not into the autumn leaf like this because it's a little more high contrast with the black and that orange. And there's, whenever you see the gold mark like this means it was a higher end pattern for them. The idea of this was a lot of companies liked autumn leaf, and autumn leaf was proprietary because Jewel Tea had they had Hall make that for them, so other places couldn't sell it, so they did that so that other places could sell something that looked similar. Oh, that's kind of neat. What in the
Ooh.
world is this?
Have you ever heard of vomit art?
What?
Elderly Poodle says she wants a piece someday of vomit art.
Oh.
Is that something?
Interesting. That's, I think I know what she means, I think. But I'd love to see a picture. If you think if you think of it, Catherine, send me a picture, and I'd love to see what that is, and see if it is what I'm having in my mind's eye.
Look a little
It sounds gross, but it's actually kind of fun.
spoiled rotten sippy cup.
Well, yes. That would have been from your era. Hey, has that got your name on it?
No.
Okay, 40%.
I was raised by wolves.
Aw. 30% off everything, and then 40% off of the punch sets. You know, punch sets are, it's coming into the time of year. If you do entertain punch sets, this is the time to have them, and, you know, they're inexpensive right now, so that's always nice.
Dragon wall pocket.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, right here, Yep, that's a Japanese one. The Dragonware is sort of the last version of Moriage, where they would do the enameling, but they do these crazy dragons, and that was really popular right after World War II.
firm.
Yes, including ones marked firm. So they are serious about it.
Here's some
But-
little advertising fans. You like those?
Oh yeah, I do sometimes. Those are kinda
Wacko
neat.
advertising.
Yeah, well, Sam's
Oh,
Club.
Sam's Club. That's not exactly.
That's not exactly ancient, is it? Let's see what we got. Vacation Paradise. Oh, that could be Mount St. Helens.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, that's Mount St. Helens in Washington before it exploded. It was one of the most perfectly conical volcanoes in the Cascades, even though it says
Oh, they
Central
never
City,
actually say
Nebraska.
where it is.
No, you just kind of have to know, but I recognize it.
Where's that?
That is, I'm guessing Indiana. Let's just say Indiana.
Maybe it's the tulip field. No, it's not.
No, it's corn.
That's a really. Wouldn't you love to look at that as a souvenir for your hybrid seed field
This is
exhibit?
what it looks like near Misty's house. No, that's not true. Misty lives in the pretty part. Dempster Converto Jet for either.
Wait, what's that look? Oh,
hey, our
now
favorite.
that is very appropriate.
Yes, because you're not getting paid, so it is a labor.
It's
of
a
love.
labor of love to endure going in there.
Well, around here, I found good stuff at the last Goodwill I went into, but that was in Seattle. So, I think just for fun, we'll put Converto Jet in front of that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yes. Gosh, let's see. Yeah, this whole area, I don't recognize a lot of this stuff, so there are some new things. Oh, they have a fallout shelter sign. Mm-hmm. I got a big stack of these that were
Clang,
new old
clang.
stock out of New York and sold them for about this price. This is priced at $50, and that seems to be about the going rate. There are fakes of these now, but they're real lightweight, and you wouldn't really be fooled in all likelihood.
Look at the lady and her jug.
Yes. Yes, it looks like she has
Two of them.
2 jugs. Enough said. Let's see. Ooh, this is nice. This is Navajo. This might be 2 Gray Hills tribe. It looks like a mid-century one. It says 1970s from Arizona, maroon, yep, and it's priced at $250, which is kind of top end for this size, but it's a good strong pattern and good colors, and a lot of these are really going to decorators. Now there's old ones that go to museums and serious collectors, but that's a pretty cool thing. They do get good stuff in this place. I really enjoy being part of this because it is one of the best malls in this section of the country, in my opinion. Atomic wall sconce or desk lamp. That's actually really cool. $38. I haven't seen that exact shape. So you can hang it, or you can put it flat like so.
And then turn that up.
And then that turns in whatever direction.
Well,
It
you
might
loosen
be-
it.
You have to loosen it first. It looks like it's never been used. It's got the old Union label on it too. Oh, and it rotates. Yeah, that is kind of everything you would want for something like that, I think. And then somebody made a Lionel transformer into a lamp. Making old weird stuff into lamps seems like a thing guys like to do right now. I wonder how time
Is that
will.
old?
Actually, it is older because of the color.
Original paint.
It looks like it's repainted, it says.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But it would have been that color originally. They did stuff other than black. Oh, when you see Fenton with this funky texture
neat.
on it, this is 1940-41 era, and then the war came and they didn't do this anymore. So it's a little bit older, and when you see it in the custard that glows a little bit, that's kind of pricey now. That might be $100 if it
Look
was
at this.
custard glass.
Roseville.
Oh yeah, this is one of the last things they did. It was a line called Hyde Park, and you could order it with your initial on it. It was when they were not getting a lot of orders, so they had extra time, and they thought
What's
that would
under?
be something
Does
to
it
sell.
lift up?
Well, this actually, it's actually, I'll show you the bottom. It's actually
Oh.
screwed in there.
So it should be tight.
It should be tight, yeah. And
Got
see,
it.
it says the Hyde Park, because that was the name of the line. And so you could order it. They did other shapes of these too, and I think cigarette boxes and other little tableware, and it was basically, the whole point was you could get your monogram on it. Oh, let me show you this just real quick. This is from Boys Town. And Boys Town is a sort of reform / orphanage, I guess, in Nebraska that's been there a long time and was founded by, I think, someone involved with the Catholic Church. But they made pottery there as one of the things they gave them to do. And then they sold it as souvenirs as fundraisers. So it's a specialty thing. And $22 is about right. That stuff does sell. because of the story.
Luster.
Oh yeah.
Muffinator.
Yes, a muffinator, right? Yes, exactly. Ooh,
It looks like sort of like E.T. spaceship. You know.
Does it really? You know, I
It
don't.
had those legs
I hardly
and it was
remember
sort of
that.
bulbous like that. Yeah.
No, I hardly remember that movie at all. This desk lamp's really cool. It's been repainted. I would want to actually try to take that paint off and
but
go
it's
back
original
to normal.
piece.
This piece is original. This has all been
Yeah,
replaced. Oh, let's see what else. Oh, 40% off in this space. And look at the lighting. This is nice, the way they have this displayed. I like the piece in the center, especially this one with the deco. And again, here we go. Now, this is colored as custard glass, and it seems to be cased over clear. It would be fun to see if you put a black light in it if this would glow, because if it would, that would be a very different experience.
Looks brown.
Yeah, it's also got a brown stain, so it may not, it may be fired on, it may not be in the glass. It would be $160 off of that because they're doing a big sale. You know, certain things when you look and you say, oh, that's really expensive, and then you look and you minus 40%, it's suddenly not very expensive anymore. These two with the nice etch from about 1920 are $48 with the discount.
Mickey Rooney Boys Town movie.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes, yes, he did a movie about Boys Town. I'd forgotten that. Okay, let's see what else there is. Gosh, I've got to say the mall's looking good. It was looking a little picked over when I was here 6 weeks ago, including my space, because we had a busy summer. And now it seems like, you know, it's raining today. There's a bunch of people shopping here. Dealers are bringing things back in from shows like I am. So the fall is when stock gets better in the
amber
malls.
version of that clear one that
Oh, yes.
Cult of Vintage got excited about.
The Moon and Stars. Yes, that's right. Yeah, and I know Fatbirds, I sold them a smaller one in orange, and they sold that.
And
So.
is that a fairy lamp? No, behind it. I know you're excited about that red thing.
Yes, I am excited,
Is
but
this,
okay.
Is this electrified?
This
That's
is
a fairy
not.
lamp,
This
right?
is a Moon and Stars fairy lamp in amber, and it's 3 pieces, as you see.
With a bath bomb in it?
Well,
know what that is.
Somebody didn't want to put a candle in it, I guess. And they have this at $85, but you know, fairy lamps are going crazy, and this is a big one. I mean, this is a lot taller than the usual one. And then another thing we have is more of a hurricane candle, but in the same pattern, which is right there in the blue. And that's hard to find, and the blue's a more desirable color, the colonial blue. So this is a 2-piece, and it's $76. But I wanted to show this just because a viewer sent me one of the Hall casseroles in the sundial. And it went to another viewer who really was enjoying it, and I wanted to show this little piece because you don't see a lot of the sundial lidded little pitchers. Usually it's just that casserole that you see. And this is not cheap. I don't think they're doing a sale. It's $100, but they're not very common either, so. And let's see, in the world's tiniest swung base for a not tiny price.
Yes, very
that
tiny,
is
not much swinging was
tiny
going on
moon
with that.
No, and tiny little Moon and Stars, and not cheap either, so. All right, well, let's
Tony
maybe.
the Tiger Head.
Oh yeah, that's right. They look like footballs for some reason. But this was great, as they say. And this one was actually, this one's kind of worn, but this was a 1960s Kellogg's promotion. 1968, in fact, it says.
How's your head?
Plastic.
Great.
Mine's starting to hurt looking at all of that color. Let's see here.
Uh-oh. Is that? Nope, that's not.
Well, it
looked like it was
like
a
bisque porcelain. It's just one level up. This one's chalk. This is bisque porcelain. This is fired at an even lower temperature than this. And then we'll turn it around, and he had a stamp on the bottom that we can't necessarily see from some trading post. But no, this is Chalkware too. It's just a different finish.
It's a hollow.
He's a bank. That's why it's hollow.
It clinks, you know, this stuff never does that.
Yeah, it's different. Well, let's see here.
Now with that, maybe.
Yeah, this should glow. Yeah, this would. This
kinda
is
cool.
similar to the one that Michelle at Comfy Cozy Living got for me at the Fatbird sale, which was so nice of her. And it is the same era, and again, it was made for a Frigidaire refrigerator, just like that one. So this is uranium glass, and it's satin glass. This would have gone in the fridge just like the one that I got.
Was this original?
No, I think it
it's-
should have had a proper stopper.
Yeah. Is that blue thing anything there?
Well,
that's sort of a similar.
It's similar, but it's a different company. This is called Oxfordware. And again, they're sort of aping the whole concept of what Hall is doing, but it is a different company. That's why the bottom is a different shape. Also made in Ohio and made in a similar era. But I wanted to show something over here that I just spotted, because this was not here last time, and this is really cool. This is a whole shelf of stuff. This is Cafeware, and I know that she's busy today, but Barb from Winking Out Antiques likes Cafeware a lot. And this is all from the Ford Rotunda, which was their big pavilion at the 1933 to 34 Chicago World's Fair. So basically all of this was serviceware from the cafe inside that building. And that's why it's hard to find, because there's not a lot of it around. And then he's got a whole...
It's gone.
Oh, the building's long gone. Most of the Chicago World's Fairs, both the 33 and the 1893, were temporary buildings and were taken down. There's just a few things left. Soldier Field is actually, it was built just before the World's Fair, but it was used in the World's Fair, and it's still there. Oh, let's see. You know what? I actually, if it's okay, I wanted to go the other way, because I always turn to the right, and I want to see something new. It's funny how you get in a rhythm. I have always, in fact, they say instinctively people turn to the right, and that's why when you go into a lot of retail stores is they put the cash register to the right, because then you'll go away the other direction and see the rest of the store.
Go away.
Cranberry Glass. This is mostly Fenton hobnail, and you see $3.10 on the picture with all the glasses. That's actually a pretty reasonable price for having that many tumblers. $100 on the fern in the left corner is also a pretty good price. You know, the big beverage pitchers do tend to go for more. And then only $50 for the swirl in the back. So these are really well priced for what they are. Glass, glass, glass. Oh, and more Fenton across. Here's some of the art lines. There's the bleeding, or the hanging heart. I always say bleeding heart, but it's hanging heart, that blue thing. You can see the little black heart in it. That's the hanging heart. And that's a line that, it's not my personal favorite, but a lot of collectors find that really interesting who do Fenton. And then look at that great Burmese with the seahorse. And that would glow under a black light. That's a really unusual piece. For $2.95 in the back there. And this one also with the nudes is Burmese. That would glow under a black light like crazy. And it's priced $3.95, but that's a really hard piece to find, so
Maybe
I
getting
it.
a signal might be a little wonky.
Uh-oh, well, let's go towards the back of the building and see if we can get to, you never know in a metal building like this how the signal's gonna go, so let's see if we can come back here and find, say, ooh, half off. Okay, well, this always gets my attention because I'm a bargain hunter, so let's just see really quickly. These Hakata dolls are not too badly priced. These are a very light bisque porcelain that were painted in Japan. I've got a whole bunch of these for sale in Washington State, and they were all to represent passing ways of life in Japan and the old ways that were starting to be no more. And a lot of times they have the same tags on them that we're used to seeing on some of the novelty ware. This one says it's a mimosa doll, but I've seen Ardalt on there, which is familiar to a lot of you who see the 50s Japanese stuff. So those are kind of neat. I don't need them because I got a whole bunch though. Let's see. Owls are cute, but those are new. I mean, I've never seen them before, but I could just tell. You can just tell they're a little too everything, you know, when it's supposed to be 70s style, but yet it's got flowers for eyes, and it's got polka dots, and it's got every color from the 70s. It's too much. A lot of the thing about reproductions, people say, oh, how do you know without having seen it before? You just kind of look for, like, if it's too good to be true, if it's too, like, one element of every kitsch thing from an era, it's probably a fake. Let's see what else we've got here. I like that primitive piece in the back. That reminds me of one of the ones in Misty's shop in Indiana.
The cabinet.
The cabinet, yeah, with that old paint. But I'm looking to see if there's any specialties. I mean,
More silver-edged dishes that...
Oh, yeah. These are very pretty, and I think this might be Syracuse Minuet. Let's take a look and see if any of them are marked, or if the tag says. Oh, it's Homer Laughlin Cavalier eggshell. So on the Cavalier, you really only see the marks on the big pieces, so I suspect the plates, yeah, there's the Cavalier mark. Same company that made Fiesta. This was their effort at fine china, and it's nice. It's good quality. The patterns are good, colors are good, but...
Put the paper towel back like the woman had it.
Gosh.
This one went, they were one towel in between.
All right, and then that goes on top?
Nope. Under there.
Okay, I'm very confused
A
now.
paper towel goes in between every dish.
I see, there we go, got it, yes. I never do that with mine. I know that...
Those aren't yours.
I know that. That's not the point. The point is I'm just not used to it. I don't do it because, frankly, the amount of scratching you're going to get from somebody picking up a plate in a stack in a store is way less than it's had in 60 years of being in a cabinet and being used on the table, so I'm not sure what you're pointing at here.
The Gone with the Wind ivy.
Oh, yes.
They seemed very proud of that.
They do. There's a lot of newer glass in that booth, so I'm kind of avoiding it on purpose, to tell you the truth. Okay. Well, let's see what else we have back here.
Puss in Boots.
Whole lot of Fostoria American.
This is new, isn't it? Well, new to me.
New to you, and I think relatively new to the store. I think I saw it the last time I was here. They do have some Carnival Glass. Oh, here we go. That's neat. But it is hard to find in the white, and they have it priced at $200.
Oh, really?
That. Yeah. And then there's a very fancy Sirocco wood.
Oh,
that is the entire complement. That's like what you would expect on... oh, that's cute. That looks like one of the craft ones rather than...
Mary's on my side. Got to teach him.
Yeah, sure.
Put the paper towels in there.
Yes, good luck teaching me, but I'll try. Yeah, this is a kit bag that's not the same shape as Enid Collins, but you do have to look inside, because I bought one last week that did not say Enid Collins on the outside because it was one of the old ones that was only marked on the inside, so don't just take it for granted. Oh, I like showing these.
Canada, is that old?
It's probably 70s
Banff.
or 80s, maybe around the time of the Olympics. I've been buying these and using them as jewelry display, and there's a lot of them coming out right now.
Hind 8.
Oh, hey there, good to see you. This one's a little older than most. We're seeing a lot that have dates of 1990 on them. And the purpose of these were, see the hole on the bottom, these would go on a big wheel in a latex place.
1972, we just watched a Abomination last night from 1972, the 1972 Burt Bacharach version of Lost Horizon.
Yes, it
definitely is not the same as the black and white movie.
No, it turned into a musical somehow. I'm not really sure what that was about. But anyway, so these would be on a big spindle, and there'd be a big vat of latex, and the spindle would go around like a wheel, and there'd be a bunch of these sticking out all over, and then it would get the latex, and by the time it came to the top, the latex would be dry, and they'd take the glove off. So these are glove molds. There was something else they made in latex plants, and you never see those molds available, but they're very collectible. We'll just leave it at that.
I could use that.
You are in a mood today.
That could be the new hand of God coming in and well, correcting course.
Yes, that sometimes is necessary. Oh, now when you see these little things, I mean, you think $8 or $10, but if you see them with a hardware store or an advertising piece, then you can be looking at 2 or 3 times that much. So do pick these up when you're in especially if you're in a country sale or a farm sale, because sometimes they've just been sitting there for 70 or 80 years.
Happy birthday. What is that?
Oh, it's a musical revolving cake stand.
Oh, don't get it going too much.
Oh, it's got an on-off switch.
Okay.
I've seen these before.
Well, then it's probably wound enough to be sufficiently annoying. Okay. Nope.
to wind, rotate clockwise. I'll try
Yeah,
a little
which
more.
you did.
It may not work.
Aw.
Ah, gee, all of that build
too
up.
bad. Well, what are you doing now?
Happy birthday to me.
Oh. How about this thing?
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
it's plastic.
It's
again,
plastic, yeah. This is, I think his name was Pedro. He was from, oh, Baba Louie, of course. Baba Louie, yeah, he was a cartoon character. I should know Baba Louie. He's a little before my time.
And the old hair
yes.
dryer.
The Dominion hair dryer, yes. I think these were made in Canada. I think that's why the Dominion name. And yes, it's got the big tube so you can do your big bouffant, like so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my. Yes.
What do you think?
Uh,
The noise was the thing that was so
look like
crazy
you're ready
about
to do
these.
some synchronized swimming.
Yes. What do you see? Sometimes I gotta
Just
follow
the
the
glass
cameraman
sets.
and just see what
Just showing
catches
the-
his eye.
the
It's fun
place.
to see what catches your eye because it's, you know, we all look at different things. And then you got my attention to this. This is a Noritake called Folkstone, and they did various stoneware in the 60s and 70s, and they're usually these really fun patterns, and it's really good quality. And unlike the Noritake that doesn't sell, it doesn't have a silver edge. And yeah, it's got some texture. Yeah, it was well made actually.
This is Quick Draw McGraw.
Oh yes,
Friend.
yes, that's right. From Quick Draw McGraw. Very good.
For my Cadillac, his friend. See?
Yeah.
You'll need a bigger pig belly for that
Well,
Cadillac.
He'll fit in the Cadillac though. Let's see here. So an Erica phone always gets my attention, especially in red, and it says it's got the box, but it's $100. These were originally done in Sweden, and then Erica Phone of Sweden licensed them to a company in Ohio to make. And they were really popular, but if you were an AT&T customer,
bottom.
oh yes, there's the bottom with the dial. It says Erica Phone right there.
Yeah, and it's Erico phone,
Yeah.
not like Erica, like a,
Not like
the
an
name.
A, no.
That says Ohio, yeah.
Yeah. The problem was is if you were not an AT&T customer, you couldn't use this. If you were an AT&T customer, you couldn't use that phone. So most people couldn't get that phone because it didn't work on their lines. So that's why they're a little scarcer now. Plus they're a really cool shape and color and people really like them. So, oh, there's some nice furniture behind here.
Those things
Oh yes, the
in
Duncan
green.
Duncan and Miller, yeah, they were very popular at their time, and there was a time when they were very expensive in the collector marketplace, but not so much now. Now, I always like this spot because they don't get a lot of stuff, but they get really nice stuff. They still have this piece, which I think is just amazing. This, speaking of the 1893 Chicago World's Fair, and I said they tore all the buildings down. Well, this is one of the ornaments from the 1893 World's Fair, and the fact that it still exists is pretty amazing because most of this was torn down and gone by 1895. So they have it priced at $585. It's a little damaged. It would be worth restoring, especially if you're going to use it.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. Yeah, they do have some unusual things in here. A fireplace cover with a mother and child, a very portly little child. A very old, this is interesting because of the copper base. You rarely see copper bases. Once it's actually cast iron with the copper coating. In Montana, there's a couple of
Looks
mansions
very
that
shiny.
have the original copper. Yeah, oh, they've shined that up, definitely. It was probably found in a barn or someplace and was probably quite oxidized, I imagine. This is a little different kind of pie safe or jelly cabinet.
Oh, hi, Susical.
Hi there.
I bought some apples from New Zealand as well, and I have to say that I don't think they survived the trip well. They were rather flavorless, unfortunately, but I'm sure the apples that you pick from the trees when they're ripe in New Zealand are lovely.
Well, yeah, the ones I've had that were fresh were good, or fresh-ish. Yeah, shipping and storing of apples doesn't do them any favors. This is really cool. This was not here the last time. So these shears, if stamped Klaus, Fremont, Ohio, are fully warranted. et cetera, et cetera. So this is from the 1890s, and it's got a bunch of the shears in it, which is really cool. So somebody went and collected the scissors to fill the display, and it's priced at $16.75, but it's a really unusual piece. And that's why I like this space. They just get stuff that you just aren't going to see everywhere else. Ooh, now they have something in here, and I think it's okay for me to open this unless...
There's no key in it, so you probably can't.
There's no key.
Let's not try.
Let me see if I can do the bottom. Okay, I'm thinking it's locked and I'll have to ask for help. But the reason I was curious is because they have 3 of the Vienna art trays. These metal trays that were done for taverns and saloons as advertising pieces around 1905.
The portraits.
The portraits, yeah, and they're really pretty, and their prices are cheap. They've got between $18 and $29 on those, and that, even though they're not in perfect shape, is still really inexpensive for what they are.
Oh yeah, the finish is obviously
Oh yes,
old and
a lot of
blistered.
people call this alligatoring, where it blisters like this. Yeah, and that had a lot to do with lack of climate control.
Humidity.
Yeah, heat and humidity, and then cold and all of that.
Oh look, you have your own stage lighting.
Ooh, wow,
So
that's neat. And it is vintage. And you know, these theater lamps, these are very popular. A lot of people who do industrial design decorating like these. And it's priced over $1,000, and they can go that high. Well, that was fun. They always have great stuff in that spot, though. How are we doing for time?
we've been going 36 minutes, and there's some more of the forbidden.
Ooh, forbidden fruit. But these folks have figured it out. It is completely fine to sell these in a mall. eBay doesn't like it, but you can sell them here, and they are asking $225. And they might get it, because I sold mine for not much less than that once I got over my little fit about it. I just need to know when we need to wrap up because of the time frame is all.
Well, I said 30-ish, so we probably should just go back to the booth. And
I'll show you a thing or two, and then we'll show you my booth, and then I probably better get to work. But they just got in this new dealer, and they've got a lot of sports cards, and they have a lot of the 50s and 60s, which are definitely the era a lot of people are collecting now. The 80s cards, they just started making gobs and gobs of them, and they're just not worth a lot.
There's the monkeys.
Oh, and speaking of things that irritate people now about cultural appropriation, there is the Milwaukee Braves felt pennant from about 1950. I think that's a really beautiful one. Actually, I think that's pre-war now that I'm looking at it a little closer.
Let's get back to your space, because we're not going to...
Yeah, we'll take a look at my spot really quickly. And then,
what are you doing later today?
Well, I'm doing a bunch of stuff.
Where are you going?
Well, I'm getting unpacked here and getting the tags on, because I really need to put more stuff in. It's getting into the busy season in the malls again, because, you know, on a rainy day, people come in on a Saturday. And then I am getting in the car and driving to Florida, because I have an estate sale in St. Petersburg next weekend on Saturday and Sunday, the 30th and 31st. So if you're anywhere in the Central Florida area, come on out, because it's a nice one. It's got a lot of antiques, and you know, it's a pretty decent house in a really neat neighborhood called Driftwood. Okay, so I haven't done anything in the space yet. They've really done a nice job keeping it together. It's hard to believe that I've sold $2,000 worth of stuff in the last 2 months and haven't been here, because there's not all that many holes. I mean, it's really nice. They really do help you out to try to keep things up so it looks good, which is really great for me because I'm traveling so much. So I got to work on that a little bit.
So booth number
107.
Yeah, it's 2 booths actually, but 107 is the
official
unified number.
Yes. And it will look a little different in not too much time. At some point when I get back from Florida, I will come in here and maybe we can do a live and kind of show you stuff and shop my shelves or something like that. I just haven't had a chance to do any of that yet, but I haven't forgotten. That's on my agenda. And I've got 3 lovely boxes full of stuff right over there that I need to price and put out and arrange.
I thought there were 4.
The 4th one was this guy, and I already put him in the booth.
Aw.
Yes. This came from my viewer friend in New York, It's a little golden lab, and even though it's not the mohair, it is stiff, and this was actually sold by FAO Schwartz.
Mit Knopf.
Usually they have the Knopf in ear, the button in the ear, but I don't think this one does because...
Oh, his ear is sewn to his head.
He's saying...
Go back in there. No, I don't know. There we go.
And it's American Kennel Club. FAO Schwartz did this shortly before they went bankrupt, so these actually are kind of hard to find, and I think I've got $100 on it, which seems to be about the going rate. So anyhow, with that, I guess I have work to do and better get started on it. But
how does this compare to the last live that, because there was a live from here, I don't know, if you guys look back in the few lives ago, we were here and doing an update. So how does it compare to that?
Yes.
So you've sold how many things? What?
Oh gosh, I got the envelopes. I sold about 75 items last month and probably, 75 items 2 months ago and about 60 last month, which is pretty good. The sales here have been consistently running $1,000 or more a month. And, we've been in peak season, so that's a great thing. And relative to rent, that means I'm making money, which is really good. And also, it's a great place to put a lot of stuff, and so many different things sell here. And again, like you look around, it doesn't really look that empty. So the idea that a couple $1,000s went out of here and there's still all this stuff, well.
So what was surprising?
Here we go.
You said all kinds of stuff sells, so what were some surprises?
Oh gosh, the big surprise, well, I couldn't say surprise. I brought it here all the way from Seattle because I knew it sells here. But there is a thing I can show you a piece because there's a little bit left.
Don't.
This stuff here is called tea leaf ironstone.
Right.
Yes, and this stuff was very popular in this part of the country when it was new, which was like in the 1850s to about 1900. And I had a client in Seattle who used to come to Kentucky and Indiana and buy all this stuff. And they moved and downsized and had me sell most of the collection. And nobody out west really was collecting it anymore. And I thought, well, bring it back to where it was from. And sure enough, I sold, I think, 15 pieces last month.
I thought it was more of a coppery shine, but that looks like brown paint.
It's a little, it varies. It actually is a copper, but you don't really see it too well in here. If you saw it against the light, it would show a little more. Sorry.
It's very tight.
Yes, it's
in
a
here.
little precarious. Yes, I have to do something about that.
Yeah.
You have to get it just right.
This one is much more coppery,
yeah,
shiny,
this one
though.
shows it better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the copper luster. It was an easy way to decorate plainware in the middle Victorian period when they were just coming up with stuff, and it was shiny and people liked it. And I do too. I mean, look at the handle on that. That's a whole lot of work there with all the grapes and leaves. So I think they're neat pieces, and somebody else did too, and they took a whole bunch home, and that was a great thing. And the Lenox ladies, I'm down to about half a dozen. I think I've sold 30 here in the last 2 months.
Oh, yeah.
Because I had a huge collection of those. So it's nice to see some of these big collections kind of winding down and going to collectors and giving me a chance to diversify a little bit.
Piece for Nate.
Oh yes, the Wedgwood. I did sell Wedgwood here. I had other boxes here, and I sold a couple of those here last month. So
is this Wedgwood as well?
Yes, it is, the bell. Yes, I don't have anything...
22 years old.
I don't have anything as phenomenal as what he talked about in his, but here's a yellow piece of Wedgwood.
Oh, yeah.
That's a little different color we see as well. And no, it's not $65. That was for something that I sold. So...
Like a sort of...
Yeah, it's sort
macaron.
of a bit so. Anyhow, so that's it. I've got my work cut out for me. I've got about an hour and 45 minutes to get all of this done. So I'm going to say goodbye to everybody, but thank you for coming along. I'm glad we got to take a look. Actually, let me turn around just so they can have a backdrop of someday.
Manly tools.
Manly tools. Someday, if you or your menfolk are interested in manly tools, we can spend time and go through this space and show you all sorts of old manly tools and what they sell for.
That are all cleaned up, well-oiled,
yeah,
in excellent shape.
Yeah, yeah. This guy keeps things the way that my father always taught us to and never did. So anyhow, well, goodbye, everybody. Thanks so much. It was fun to bring this to you, and we'll see you again soon.
Yeah, take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.